If you want to learn how to form habits, read Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's the ultimate guide. Isn't that unbelievable? It's worth seeing for yourself. Crisis after crisis befell the British cycling team known as Team Sky. Only once between 1908 and 2003 did the British cycling team manage to bring home an Olympic gold medal. Not only did they do poorly in the most prestigious cycling competition, the Tour de France, but their performance was deteriorating daily. They were worried that word would get out that the British cycling team used their cycles, which would hurt their brand and sales. Therefore, a European cycle manufacturer denied providing them with cycles after seeing this. In an effort to address these issues, the British Cycling Organization brought on Dave Brailsford as a coach. After working with a concept known as the aggregation of marginal gains, Dave Brailsford stood apart from all of the prior coaches. If we can optimize even the most minute aspect of our work by just 1%, the sum of all our efforts will be superior, according to this plan. The work of Dave Brailsford was based on this premise. He experimented with various lightweight textiles for the riders and put alcohol on the tires to improve traction. He also changed the cycle seat for more comfort. Still, he wasn't done yet. He made an effort to enhance every aspect of cycling by 1%, including those that we cannot yet fathom. He learnt the correct way to wash one's hands from a doctor and constructed special beds so the riders could have a good night's sleep. For their riders, he tested out a variety of massage parlors that promised lightning-fast muscle healing. Dave Brailsford made an effort to redesign and improve upon every single item, from chain oil to riders' eye drops, by only 1%. At the 2008 Beijing Olympics, his team had the desired effect, winning 60% of the gold medals. His team set 9 Olympic records and 7 world records at the next London Olympics. The aggregation of marginal gains, a concept put out by Dave Brailsford, resulted in a 1% improvement between 2007 and 2017. A non-specialist cycling team amassed 178 world titles, 66 Olympic and Paralympic medals, and 5 Tour de France victories. Similar to the compound effect, a 1% improvement may not be seen in the short term, but might have a significant impact over time. To attain your goals, the author advises creating a system. Goals are directly tied to results, whereas the system is related to the process that might bring you to the goal. Being physically strong and healthy is an end goal, but getting there requires a strategy that includes eating right and exercising regularly. An exam score of 98% is a goal, but mastering the material through consistent reading is a system. Goals are helpful for pointing in the right direction, but sticking to the system is what really gets you where you want to go. Goals are the same for winners and losers alike, but those who follow the system and make ongoing improvements reach their objectives extremely quickly. That's why goal setters who keep improving are hailed as winners, whilst goal stoppers are dubbed losers. Incredible things can be created from seemingly little habits, just as atoms are the building blocks of matter. You need to put the goals aside and just follow the system if you want to see incredible results. There are 2 main approaches to altering one's habits: those that focus on the desired results and those that stress the importance of one's identity. Opting for an outcome-based strategy is the preferred method for most individuals looking to modify their habits. We ought to adopt habits that are based on our identities instead. We'll use 2 people who are trying to kick the habit as an example. No thanks. I'm trying to quit smoking. In response to an offer of a cigarette, the man attempting to quit smoking through the outcome-based habit will decline. No, thanks, I don't smoke. The person developing habits based on their identities will respond. The impact of this seemingly insignificant statement is substantial. People are open to being better at things, but they aren't interested in becoming someone else. They can't make any modifications because of that. Your identity is shaped by the work you do on a daily basis, which in turn is shaped by your beliefs. It supports every action you desire to be. Your identity can't be altered by a single deed, but its repetition may. Anything you put pen to paper strengthens your writerly identity. You become more of a public speaker every time you address an audience with conviction and accuracy. As a leader, you get more credibility anytime you can sway the opinions of others. Choose the kind of person you aspire to be, and then consistently act in accordance with that self-definition. You should act like a gentleman in public if you aspire to be one. Since our belief system is built on our identity, we are using it to alter our habits. Cue, craving, response, and reward are the 4 stages that lead to habits. Nothing serves as a cue more than the promise of a reward. We are driven to seek out the reward when we crave it. In order to receive the reward, our response is indispensable. In addition, we desire the reward because it provides us with satisfaction or knowledge. Repeatedly engaging in an action makes it habitual. When we create habits, we primarily aim to decrease the amount of work and energy needed to solve difficulties. Any habit may be broken down into its component parts: cue, craving, response, and reward. Not being able to form a habit depends on each of these components. Habits cannot be initiated without a cue. Reducing your cravings will make you less motivated to achieve your goals. You won't be able to complete the task if you give a difficult response. Also, you won't be motivated to accomplish anything again if the reward doesn't fulfill your requirement. Allow me to illustrate all of these components with an example. The cue is when your phone goes off when you're seated. You now have a craving to read the phone's message. As a next step, you can grab the phone and read the response message. In the end, the reward is the way you feel after reading the letter. Your desire to repeat an action is directly proportional to how fulfilling the reward is. Good habits are formed when the cue is visible, the craving is attractive, the response is easy, and the reward is pleasant. Make your books visible, for example, if you want to establish a habit of reading. Placing them on the table, couch, or bed will ensure that you can see them when you need them. The book will stand out more and serve as a gentle reminder to pick it up using this method. Making the craving appealing is the next stage. Keep reading for brief bursts of 10-15 minutes at a time by using bookmarks to revisit previously read sections. Put books where you can easily reach them so you can pick them up with little effort. The response is simplified as a result. Never put your book in a spot where it will be difficult to find it. Get it to a spot where you can get to it fast. Constructing a rewarding outcome is the last stage. Reading the perfect book at the perfect time is key to elevating your happiness. You should do the opposite if you wish to break negative habits. An unappealing cue, an undesirable craving, a challenging response, and an unsatisfying reward should be your goal. Making the cue invisible is the first step. For example, if you wish to stop using phones, store your phone in an inconvenient spot. Step 2 is to make cravings unappealing. Reminding yourself that checking your phone multiple times won't help you gain anything can help you control your craving for it. It was the most effective way to make the response tough that I used. I changed the password to 12 characters long and mixed case, and I disabled the face unlock and fingerprint access features. Thanks to the 15 seconds it took me to input this complex password, I was able to break the habit of constantly checking my phone within a few days. Without a legitimate reason, your brain will not advise you to unlock your phone because it dislikes typing complicated passwords for minor emotional comfort. As a last stage, you might make the incentives unengaging. Remove apps that only take up space on your phone. You can make the intended incentives less rewarding by using your phone in grayscale mode if you're addicted. Building good habits is as straightforward as following these 4 steps. Make the cue obvious, make the craving appealing, make the response easy, and reward your excellent behavior. Rather than seeing the cue, craving, response, and reward as desirable, try viewing them as undesirable in reverse order to stop unhealthy habits. The concepts that govern our habits are intriguing, so let's look at them. Individuals, small groups, and larger, more influential groups all have a role in shaping our habits. We begin to adopt the habits of those closest to us, and the powerful, and many people who follow them. For some, the very thought of starting a project is enough to spark their motivation. The truth is that they aren't unmotivated so much as they are confused about when, what, and how to begin. The environment is more important than motivation, but people take motivation too seriously. In the cafeteria of a Boston hostel, some students once drank cold drinks. They were being encouraged to substitute water by the food management department. In the cafeteria, they switched up the placement of the cold drinks and water bottles, so now students drink water instead. People are more concerned with where things are displayed than with whether or not they actually work. Because of the influence of one's surroundings on one's behavior, one might, for example, choose to eat goods that are kept in the fridge or publicly in the kitchen, rather than those that are packed and hidden in the kitchen. In order to maintain clean restrooms at Amsterdam Airport, the cleaning crew performed an experiment that was both easy and effective. The urinals were marked with a small insect sticker, and the goal was for people to aim for the sticker in order to reduce leakage and maintain clean and fresh restrooms. Disciplined people intentionally shape their life to not require self-control, which goes against our perception that self-discipline necessitates more willpower and control. As an example, they might decide to get rid of the television altogether if they find that it takes up too much of their time. No television? No problem. Systematically developing self-discipline is simple and, with the right guidance and effort, may lead to any goal you set for yourself. Remember the Polgar sisters? They are a prime example. Laszlo Polgar, an educational psychologist and chess teacher from Hungary, held the firm belief that children might achieve greatness via persistent practice and the development of excellent habits. They decided to conduct their experiment on chess because Carla, his wife and a teacher, shared their belief in the power of good education to improve one's abilities. They devised a strategy to help their three daughters, Zsuzsa, Zsófia, and Judit, become chess world champions. Though Zsuzsa and Zsófia were both accomplished chess players, Judit became the youngest Grand Master in the world at the age of 15 and held the title of top female chess player for 27 years. Good habits and the right setting can lead to extraordinary results. Now, we can talk about how an ordinary bank employee made 6 figures using the paperclip strategy. On his desk, Stephen kept one container full with 120 paper clips and the other without any contents. After each sales call, he would transfer a paper clip from one container to the other. Until all of the paper clips had been relocated, he would begin each day with 120 of them. Stephen was able to double his income to 6 figures and turn $1 million for the bank using this straightforward strategy. For a more visible assessment of development, try the paperclip strategy. The main goal is to visually measure progress to keep you motivated. You can use many techniques, such as transferring marbles from one container to another. Tracking habits has several advantages. Visual evidence of your hard work serves as a constant reminder of your success, which is especially helpful when you're not in the mood to document your habits. A lot of people say things like, think outside the box, or get out of your comfort zone, but nobody ever says which one to use. The Goldilocks zone, part of Atomic Habits, contains the answer to this issue. Within its optimal difficulty zone, the human brain enjoys challenges. Tennis, for example, is too easy for a 10-year-old to play against, so you'll quickly become bored. Competing against experienced players like Serena Williams or Roger Federer will deter you from pursuing your tennis goals. The work required to win while competing against a level-headed opponent is what keeps you going. Where a person's motivation is most sustained is in the sweet spot between their present abilities and their limits. This is the Goldilocks zone. Take matches as an example. Dominant sides will go above and beyond to win. To challenge ourselves, we need to push ourselves just a little bit farther than our current level of comfort allows. Many people's failures are due more to boredom than to a lack of effort. Doing something over and over again until you're an expert at it could get old fast. Like everyone else, successful people get bored and demotivated from time to time. What makes them truly exceptional, though, is that they keep practicing despite these feelings. Atomic Habits by James Clear explains how to form habits from the ground up. Atomic Habits is the Bible when it comes to understanding habits. You will undoubtedly gain some essential knowledge from it. Thanks for watching.